if they do also go for that, it does mitigate damage output from Tiny later on in the game because of all the heavy armor that you have on these
Yeah.
edgy heroes. So if Tiny goes for something like Aghanims, it doesn't do as much damage as it probably would. Early game, of course, these heroes are usually small HP pools. They live off of dealing damage instead of taking, and leaving that full-on Tiny combo, which does about, was it 900 or 1,000 damage with toss, avalanche, and one or two tree toss right clicks in between. You start it off when you throw the avalanche, toss the first time, and then you finish it off with either throwing the tree or getting a second hit in. It's about 900 1100 damage. It's somewhere between that radius.
Yep.
That's enough to kill a Marana. That's enough to kill a Marcy. It's even enough to kill a Pango if Pango doesn't have a great start to the game.
Okay, it's not an agility core, but it is. It kind of works the same way. It doesn't have that much armor. Still builds into an armlet in the face boot, so we'll be okay in that regard. And yeah, immediately you counter the lifestealer. You have to do it. This is a necessity. The thing is, you're still gonna be laning against the Marana. Marana can deal with the boars. They're not the fastest of the creeps, so it's not gonna be the worst time for the lifestealer. Plus, the boars don't slow through the rage any longer. So I'm liking this one from Purple Paradox. The only problem is it is not a heavy damage dealer. But you could go for like a Maelstrom or something in this game to make it a little bit better.
What I like about the Lifestealer is in some way categorize Lifestealer as an edgy hero because he has a lot of attack speed. And even where he lacks in damage, Marcy buffs up with Sidekick. So I do actually like this Lifestealer pickup. But the Beastmaster, like you said, direct counter in terms of single target lockdown. It does remove the possibility of the high ground pushes, for example. If Lifestealer wants to go for the rage push, which he usually always does, Beastmaster has a chance to lock him down, burn off some duration of the rage, and let the rest of his team kind of connect on that. And he can also follow up very nicely. So I do like this Beastmaster pick a lot. And also, on top of that, we haven't got to see this hero too much lately.
For sure. And plus, there's also a few things that synergize well with him. Not only is he good against Purple Paradox, but he's good with his own heroes. He has a Disruptor, so extra vision is needed. He has a Tiny, so you want to be the ones initiating fights. And I think this is the first game where we are 50-50 in terms of vision. Maybe a little bit in favor of Purple Paradox, but that's during nighttime. During daytime, Army Geniuses are gonna have the edge. So it's gonna be really fun to see now how the teams are gonna play when they know there's actually a timing to their own vision. So I'm loving both of the drafts.
Night Stalker's a good answer to the Beastmaster too. Has to ponder his itemization here as well. Again, the Overlord question is in the air. Sometimes you just go for the dummy because of the Night Stalker. No way you want to sacrifice your big creep with a lot of money spent into it. You could just build your Vlads into a Wraith Pact instead and have a dummy on the side, which is still going to help you push lanes and give you the auras that you need. But you're not removing it from the fight in a sense of how do I put this? You would rather give a dummy creep than an Overlord creep for the Night Stalker to eat because it doesn't feel like such a huge waste.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I was thinking they go for an Ursa. I was like, if they're the Radiant side, they'd go for the Ursa 100%. Being the Dire, it's not necessarily the best to go for the Ursa here, but it would still be pretty solid. I'm not sure how the SF goes into this one. Usually, he's good against heroes who naturally don't want to build into a BKB, but the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut are exceptions because they do not have to. So I'm a little bit surprised about this last pick from Army Geniuses. I have to say I don't like it. Laning stage, it's not gonna be the greatest. The Night Stalker will have a decent time. It's not something that can man fight the Lifestealer. Unless, of course, the Lifestealer is roared. You absolutely need a BKB to fight. The Lifestealer does not. This is... I'm just uncertain about this SF pick.
Looking at the recent games that In Your Dream has also played, today he's been playing a variety of heroes, but yesterday a game on Shadow Fiend, which he has paired up with a very different type of draft. Obviously, a pop game is different to what a competitive tournament match is, but he's got some pretty solid timings here with the full-on right-click build that he's gone for that in that specific game. even built up a butterfly for the Shadow Fiend for even more right-click damage, attack speed and damage. Then with the Silver Edge Satanic BKB, a spicy build to have, and probably going to be something similar looking at the heroes you're going up against.
I just want to see a halberd on the lifestealer in this game. Second item halberd. I think that's the way to go, and you're gonna be completely fine. The Shadow Fiend can work here. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's the worst pick in the world, but I could see a lot more heroes that would kind of do the same thing, just slightly better. Even the Terrorblade I would see as a better pick than the Shadow Fiend. But still, it is a right clicker. It is a hero that takes down towers. It can help you take down Roche. It helps you in team fights once the Rage is down and the Rolling Thunder as well. So overall, it is a type of hero that Army Geniuses needed to round up their draft. It now comes down to it, can the other four create enough space for the SF really to pop off? The plan still stays the same. The SF needs to farm, and the rest of these on the back of the vision of the Night Stalker need to be getting kills over and over again on the map.
Most importantly as well, outside of the draft, Purple Paradox, this is the time to calm down and cool down and start to focus again, because game number 1 was by far probably one of their weakest performances we've seen so far, and probably felt a bit, well, I wouldn't say necessarily exhausted. Maybe a bit of that could be said in between, even though it was just one series that they played before this. But the pride of beating one of the top SEA teams, and definitely the top team of this group stage in terms of numerical value. So you've reset yourselves. Hopefully they've had a bit of a chat in the break. Okay, guys, let's take things seriously again and look for that tie, because they only have one series loss during the course of this group stages. And Army Geniuses will continue to look for a win or a tie. They still have a 0 in their losses, which is a good signal for them.
Most definitely, Army Geniuses have been doing pretty decent in the tournament so far. I'm happy with their performance overall. Oh, DB a little bit better there on in the clicking department compared to
Lifestealer timed it and Beastmaster spammed it.
It just goes to show how many of your mice are you ready to give away for the bounty rune. Zaggy seems to love his gear, and the Beastmaster was like, spam, 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 spam. We can change the mouse if need be.
Yeah, I mean, a mouse can still last for a couple million clicks until you give it away. But did do some maths about those. Though this is again a bit of fluff talk, but the thing with gaming mice, I think you do like an average of depending how many clicks you do, because usually players with actions per minute is somewhere between 150 to 350, depending if you're a spammer or a player who just likes to click once here and there to have more calmed mobility. Say supports usually have less clicks. Varus looking for a kill here on Fearless, might be able to get it too, but 4 stick charges, another blast is required. Range creep blocking Varus a bit as well. So on average, if you do say 300 clicks, you play 100 games of Dota, that's already about 30,000 clicks. So you play 1,000 games, maybe 2,000 games or so, your mouse is probably starting to wear out a bit. So no. Oh, forgot the word I wanted to use here, but never mind about that. Long enough tangent anyway.
Either way, lucky. It's if you're a mouse and you get into the hands of a Dota player, you're quite lucky, because APM means absolutely nothing in this game. There are only a couple of players that are very nervous and just spam the clicks a lot, and there are a couple of pro players who constantly move the mouse around the map, like Resolution. If you watch his stream, let's say, you're not gonna know what's going on. I played this game professionally, and when I look at the screen, I'm like, what the hell? This guy doesn't see anything.
Yeah. I'll actually clarify myself just that one little bit, that I did just use an average instead of the total number per game. So it's probably going to be way less games. Anyway, back into Dota, the one that you guys all love. We're looking at the mid lane currently with Valky versus Yoe. Yoe continuing with the Tiny as he did from the first game, and Valky with a bit of a different hero. He played the Ember 3 games straight, and we think that he would have had a phenomenal performance into that first game of this series, the third game in a row. Meanwhile, In Your Dream walking into Fearless gets one raise, doesn't get the second. That's a very good rebound.
The laning phase is going amazingly well for Army Geniuses. They're winning all 3 of the lanes, and
Disrupt the
the
dying,
margin
though.
is actually pretty huge. Okay, that kind of switches it back towards Purple Paradox.
At least for the lane, not
Yep.
for the entire laning stage, surely. It was the last time Mavis getting himself the first kill on Moody. Moody this time returns the favor.
His death is not gonna go unused. He does TP to the mid lane, allows Yowie to refill his bottle, will allow him to be even more aggressive here in the mid lane now.
Fearless is being very aggressive himself here, fighting against In Your Dream, and a kill opportunity arises, but is it the SF to fall first? Looking for the raise. Marcy cuts a too deep angle here, and with the boots on the SF, In Your Dream finds the kill and keeps his life as the Night Stalker almost took his away. And I just want to point out, this is the first game of SF on In Your Dream in this tournament.
In Your Dream, though, look at how many creeps he's gonna get there, and he's actually gonna deny 3 creeps. Or actually, he doesn't. He wants to get towards those creeps there. Doesn't want to lose any of the CS, even though it means that the Night Stalker might get a bit more. But this just means that SF will have so much. Those creeps, there were so many of them that with the double slows, the SF just almost died only from the creeps. Fearless Love? Really?
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Very aggressive there.
I mean, it was obvious he was gonna die. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. For a second, I was like, okay, maybe the SF doesn't have mana. Then I click on him, he's almost full in that department. I'm like, nope, you're not getting out of that one alive.
Yeah, Pango almost dying to Yowie. Good combo coming in from the Pango. Gets a couple hits from the tower to connect onto the Tiny, but his mana pool entirely spent. And yeah, Marcy has a TP cooldown, so Marcy can't even refill the bottle for the Pango.
Fearless had a perfect first series of the day, and now the second one, it's just not looking good for him. And you know, bottom lane, you might have gotten the first blood, but still, if you look at the HP pulls or HP currently on the Lifestealer and the Mirana, they can't even get close.
They can't. And there we go. With the help of Fearless, they will get themselves a kill onto the Tiny in the mid lane, putting a bit of pressure off of the Pango, who was on the receiving end there for a while.
At least something. Fearless Law was like, I have to make something work right now because my game is going really bad. The impact in the laning phase from Marcy should be huge, and his has been really bad. So at least he changes things up in the.
They're gonna go for Varus.
Very important.
Sidekick into the Frost Shield. That will mitigate some of the damage being dealt, and the lifesteal ain't enough. SF just hits too hard, but he's also low on mana. So Fearless sidekick cooldown on level 1 is massively long. It's 36 seconds. You're not going to get to use that too often. Hence the reason why it's usually being maxed out. DB's Boar gets arrowed by Moody. And we're looking at Mirana for a moment for a kill. Maybe snipes his courier. And Pango. Well, where is the Pango currently? Teleporting back to mid. I was thinking
he did run back to the base.
Yeah, he ran back. That was kind of the downside of the Marcy dying in the top lane with his teleport being put on cooldown, as he couldn't get the bottle refill. So it also cost the Pango some time, that one Marcy kill.
Tiny's rotating to the bottom lane, but the Pango will probably rotate to top as soon
Nice
as he
dodge.
clears out the wave.
Very nice dodge from Moody. Misses the arrow, though. Still gets tossed in the air. Raindrops will soak up some of that damage. Body
Here
blocks
comes
the
the Pango.
Lifestealer. And here comes Pango from the back with a haste rune. They just killed In Your Dream in the top lane. And maybe even more for Purple Paradox. Can they get this to work? Misses the swashbuckle, but it doesn't matter. Lifestealer still gets the kill. Shield crash with a slow. And Beastmaster level 5. No roar. Waves up his arm. And doesn't get the high 5, but gets the kill instead, which is much better. And it feels much better for him as well. Augie back up into pace.
They knew that the Pango had a haste rune, and they still continued chasing after the avalanche didn't connect immediately on Moody. That rotation from Yowie just not good enough. He got into the presence of mind from the last game, like I can go around and kill anyone. Now he sees the Mirana. Nah, Moody is still out. Oh, maybe he's not.
Is he though?
He's dead.
Has a lead, but this time he's not going to dodge the avalanche like he did on the first time. Yowie made the rotation to bottom. And Pango is going to find both of them. He doesn't shield crash instantly, though, but he's going to dodge the glimpse, at least with the Rolling Thunder. He will want Mavis. Mavis about to get denied. Oh, just gets there in time before the Satyrs finish their job. Their meal stolen in front of their eyes.
Valky didn't have the mana for all 3 of his spells, so nice calculation what to go for. Swashbuckle plus the Rolling Thunder would be doing the most amount of damage, and then during the Rolling Thunder you can use the bottle charges just to get that extra damage in from the shield crash. So very nice spell usage coming off from the Pango.
Yeah, I think he would have missed the kill as well if he shield crashed, because the glimpse was just about to be cast. Not sure if he would have been able to even cast both, but yeah, the mana being the major issue.
I mean,
Looking at net worth, it is Beastmaster on top.
considering the start, I think Purple Paradox are going to be very happy. The lanes, they started losing them, but now with just a couple of rotations, they're ahead. Still, Beastmaster is topping the net worth chart, and I think he is going to be losing the Wildwind Ripper.
Yeah, instant infest. It's a fast dummy creep eaten by the Lifestealer. Will give him some extra net worth for it.
All couriers die with a stench of evil on their souls as Dyer's has. Please.
Rotations towards top. They want to make something happen, but they were under vision, so Purple Paradox, Army Geniuses, they know.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder just comes off cooldown as well. Valky can't get the turnaround here. There's the glimpse, the Requiem. Oh, he doesn't roll into the Shadow Fiend. Doesn't even get the chance to cancel it out. Seimei looking for an opener here. Mavis getting blown up. They cast the Void at the same time. Doesn't give a chance for this Disruptor to live, but 2 seconds for Avalanche. Yowie could close in the gap. He will be able to. Varus is coming in from the back as well. Void being cast on the Tiny. Tiny has toss available, but the Void slow. Lasts for too long. Can't grab the Pango. And onto the Inner Dream. Oh, a lot of damage from that Swashbuckle. That is just an over-corrosion. It looked like a refusal because it felt like it did a lot of damage. Seimei, no, they got the chance to initiate. Inner Dream in trouble. Gonna get tossed around and blown up. Now even the Tiny, 3 versus 1. Avalanche is ready. Arrow is gonna miss, and he is silenced. Can't even get the Avalanche off. Now he finally can. Is it enough for a kill? No, not enough for a kill. Pango gets his sticks off. And that is a double kill for Valky. Big kills for Purple Paradox, and this is starting to look like the team we saw earlier on today against Fnatic.
Yeah, Yowie is overextending with the Tiny. This is twice in a row. He overextended bottom, he overextended now on the Pango. Even if he would get the toss, Pango at that point had 14 wand charges, so nothing would change
SF coming
massively.
bot.
They want the tower.
They were already
Lane?
battling against the Lifestealer. Roar comes out. Raise number 1, raise number 2 into a free kill. So that early brawling that the Beastmaster took with the Lifestealer, they were just standing still trading hits. I was like, well, DB could attempt to roar him. He's gonna win the 1 versus 1. But you see, in your dream respawns, he teleports to the bottom. It's like, wait a minute, just hold on a minute. I'll TP and we'll help you get the kill and help you get the tower.
Nicely done there. Top lane though, Purple Paradox wants the tower as well.
They want the tower, but they'll get a freebie on the side in the name of this Lich.
Cliff used to save the siege creep. And
Smoke block.
they're coming over, but with the siege creep not being dead, this tower is gonna die before they come there. They're just not gonna have enough heroes on the side of Army Geniuses. Purple Paradox are already ready with the Pango.
They're leaving the tower up. They're afraid of a rotation. They're like, why is the mid hero missing? Why is there nobody there? Why is Lich TPing there? Something's up. And now Seimei gonna be surprised. Doesn't even get the Dark Ascension off, but he's gonna get the Rolling Thunder and Valky to help him live a little bit longer. Is he gonna live throughout this entire fight though? Maybe he is. Tiny in trouble. Seimei 30 HP goes back into the fight. Oh, the crippling fear runs out, removing the mischance. Yowie gets a kill. But Seimei, at least Valky will finish off the Tiny. Meanwhile, Beastmaster teleports away. Too many creeps in between. Arrow on cooldown. Marcy can't TP in time.
7-second TP to the outpost, way too long. You're not going to be getting there. But that was a beautiful move from Purple Paradox. They just saved their siege creep. They moved away, seeing that people are missing, and they waited in a perfect position with the Pango. The only reason Night Stalker died is because Seimei made a mistake, and he has been making those small, you know, micro movement mistakes, but those can always be fixed. You just play Dota a bit more, and you get into a sense of what you can and what you cannot do.
Just play more games.
Yeah.
Raise no hand in anger and you'll pass.
Blink 800 gold short for the Tiny. Mustn't die now. It's the most important thing for him. Stick alive, keep farming, get that blink. But they want to do it through kills. They also want to open up that mid tower. Moody in the trees. Same in the lane. Got two heroes smoked up on the top side. Purple Paradox. They could come in for a wraparound. They see DB in mid. Now they turn around. And they're waiting. They're waiting in the back line. Same A. No Dark Ascension. And at daytime. Rolling Thunder coming in from the back line. And he gets bounced back. Valky. Oh no! He's going to sell the Marcy's soul to his enemies. And the stun's still coming in from Valky. But the timing isn't optimal anymore. He lost so many seconds. He got bumped by this bloody little stair edge right there. They keep their tower up. They trade support for support. But it could have been so much better for Purple Paradox.
It feels as bad as when you hurt your pinky toe onto something on the ground. I think that's the way that felt there for his team. Though I still am surprised they went for that one. But I guess pushing back Army Geniuses from this tower just a little bit is huge. You can already see the Army Geniuses again pushing in the bottom lane, and as soon as those creeps get close to the tier 2, the attempt onto the mid lane tower will be there once again. But at least Purple Paradox bought themselves enough time for the Dark Ascension to be ready, so it's not gonna be as easy of a fight for Army Geniuses next time.
You know, while Tiny farming the jungle and SF farming in the bottom half of the map. Some good farming rotations for Army Geniuses if they make moves like that in towards mid, where you have your offlaner and your both supports drawing attention away and opening up the map for the cores to farm. Purple Paradox looking for a kill. There's the rebound available on top of Beastmaster. Into the arrow. Solid combo. Works out nicely. Lich ulti does a mean amount of damage though. This Marcy does get the sidekick off at the start of the fight though, so lifesteal will keep her alive. Varus taken down. And DB Varus both falling down. Oh, the Centaur wants this kill. The smoke though. These ain't heroes. Oh, Moody. Misses the point blank range arrow onto the dummy creep.
That was a beautiful move for Purple Paradox. They know once Army Geniuses come to their mid lane tower, it's not going to be easy to fight, even with Dark Ascension, if the enemies are ready. But the thing is, if we smoke and we kill the Beastmaster, there's going to be another round of Army Geniuses needing to push out the waves. And the nighttime also, you created space for that one to come around, so you might not even be needing the Dark Ascension for the defense of the mid lane tower. Just a beautiful move all around from Purple Paradox, and the timing was on point as well, because you know that Army Geniuses don't want to let go of that area, so you go as soon as you can so that they are at the closest camp possible. But Army Geniuses, they're now going to change something with the Arcane Rune on the Tiny and the Blink. This could be big.
This could be big if they find the appropriate target. They're pinging the Marcy in the bottom lane. That is a kill they could go for. Fearless though, juking in the trees, but not juking long enough. Arcane has been popped as well. Tree Toss will finish off the kill. And Purple Paradox thinking about reinitiating here. Gonna get Disruptor down to half HP. Diffusal Blade almost takes him down. Seimei finishes off one, walks into the weakened Lich, or sorry, the weakened Disruptor for a second kill. Now heading towards mid. Yowie in the trees. Seimei, he's coming in from a wraparound as the tower's already taking damage. Night Stalker, a lot of movement speed. Yowie with the blink, but the Void still connects. He's slowed up, so he can't help this tower anymore.
Yeah, the tower goes down. That's a really fast move from Purple Paradox. Army Geniuses went way too deep, and they just don't have the burst damage necessary. This is the difference. Last time Tiny had the Mirana. This time around, the Disruptor and the Lich, they're not as strong.
Alright, that's your only TP cancel. Used for a scout. While Seimei farming up in middle. He wants to build 2 Blink Daggers. One for each hand.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Wants to be a rogue.
I mean, he's kind of got a rogue hood on his animated portrait, so.
Yep. Tier 6 World of Warcraft. Kind of looks like it.
Wrong game. He's a Dota rogue. Arrow misses.
Dota players are okay with World of Warcraft players. There's that one game that we don't speak of here. The other ones are fine. But still, Purple Paradox,
Okay.
6k gold lead. Much better performance than in the previous one. They are still quite heavily under enemy vision, but as I mentioned, you can see the difference in Tiny having a support that can contribute to his damage output and bursting down people, and now he doesn't. So if he had a Hoodwink, Mirana, Dark Willow, something along those lines, it would be fine, but none of these two can help him in that regard, and Yowie just cannot set himself up for success like he could in the previous game. It's just much harder for Army Geniuses to get these initiations. Even though they have good vision, it's just not good enough.
Fearless Love working on his BKB. It takes some time for a Marcy to farm. The only place where you can really do it is in the lane. But Valky going in with a blink, stunning onto Avalanche, keeps away the Dark Ascension Night Stalker for the time being. Roar on the Pango. Can they get close enough? Yes, they can. And he swashbuckles away. The Static Storm was about to finish, or actually his ulti was about to finish, but he gets out and still dies. DD with the kill. Yowie coming in with the buyback. They're doing full ham. Purple Paradox diving in. Requiem connecting. The fears are going to be massive, but the Lifestealer is still fighting his way through, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to take him down too. They're going to lose Augie in this fight, and now the Mirana on the run. Moody has nothing to give, and Seimei glimpsed backwards, and the kinetic field just on point. Thunderstrike mini stun prevents him from actually escaping, as that movement speed for him just dropped so low. He was about to cross the border of that kinetic field. Not enough. And it costs a lot for Purple Paradox. A choke point fight for Army Geniuses, and they go to Roche.
It's gonna be even worse for Purple Paradox, because Roche, that is pretty much a perfect fight start from Purple Paradox, but Army Geniuses knew what their win condition was. Killed the Pango, and then there's no damage. They might kill him again.
Be low on HP and suddenly taken down to 0. A bit of a desperation move from him to try to intervene with this Roshan, but he can't do anything without his ult. So that is in your dream with a secondary life.
Yeah, the Purple Paradox were moving so well around the map, but Army Geniuses knew what their win condition in the fight was. They had the Wraith back while the Pango was alive. They roared him, they killed him, and then Purple Paradox have to deal with the Wraith back, but even when they do, there's no one else left to do the damage. The Night Stalker already expanded his BKB, he needs to run, and the Lifestealer, until you get your third item, your damage output isn't really that high, you're just not that dangerous. So Army Genius has calculated everything perfectly, despite being weaker than their enemies.
Gonna take down Mavis. Shadow Fiend. BKB, look at the damage this guy is dealing. He's taking a lot as well, but he's giving them an edge. He's got a secondary life to use. Fearless taken down. DB getting the roar onto the Night Stalker. Arrow connects, keeps the SF away. The big, bad Shadow Fiend. He controlled Seimei. He's got Dark Ascension available now, but he's not going to use it as he's about to die. Buyback from the Disruptor, but that doesn't really hurt too much at this stage of the game. It's a very cheap buyback to use from Mavis. And Purple Paradox slowly but surely losing that lead that they've had this game. They were like 5-6k ahead, and now it's down to 2. They're losing their advantage.
They now found out though how to play their lineup. It's not about the team fight. Even if you have your big item timings, the big team fights you're very likely to lose. You need to use the mobility of your heroes. Lich, Disruptor, Beastmaster, these heroes don't move around the map too much. They use the vision and they play around it. So you try to fight them in a different way. You jump them, you go out. You jump them, you go out. And that's how Purple Paradox wants to approach the map and the engagements as well. And you could see they even got the SF down through the BKB and the Frost Shield when there was no one in the vicinity to help him. So that's how they're gonna keep approaching this one. But Army Geniuses, the question is if they allow them to do so.
Bottom tower now open up for grabs, even without the Aegis on the Shadow Fiend. They have Dark Ascension and Rolling Thunder though. Unleash up in 5. They have full TPs, but with the Glyph, are they gonna come back? Mirana, okay, Static Storm used, but they're still not interested. Why did Mirana try to TP there? That, no way you're gonna be getting out of that. They're still gonna try and fight though. Maybe give them a false sense of security here. Infested Lifestealer inside the Pango. Roar comes out right away. SF on the spot, and so is the Lifestealer, but here comes the big Requiem. Fearless down, glimpsing the Lifestealer into their hands, and Army Geniuses, one by one by one. You find a kill, you get a tower, you get another kill, and then a very split decision attack from Paradox, but a fantastic read from DD. Seeing his SFs being initiated on outside of the Rolling Thunder, instant roar on the Lifestealer who just came out of the Infest. He probably wanted the Pango, but he got the Lifestealer instead.
It doesn't really matter for them who they catch. A couple of seconds ago, I said Purple Paradox. Now they understand how they need to fight. Okay, that fight shows me that they don't. Because every single time that you attempt to go for a move like that, you're going to lose the fight. You just don't have the constant output of damage necessary to win a 5 versus 5 engagement. When we look at teamfight, Army Geniuses are undoubtedly the stronger ones. And it has to be Purple Paradox using their vision. And in the downtimes of those fights when Army Geniuses are transitioning, Purple Paradox are doing a good job catching them in between, but they're giving so much away with these team fights.
They surely are. And now these BKBs coming up as well. One on the Tiny and the Hurricane Pike as well for the Shadow Fiend. In Your Dream is going to be very difficult to get to. And now that Dark Ascension, the Silence, is no longer going to impact the Tiny. Tiny has some more free time to use his abilities and get his damage out.
And Lifestealer isn't progressing in terms of items at all. He is gonna get a halberd at some point, but that's not damage still. You are gonna prevent the SF from killing all of you immediately, but you cannot finish this fight in 5 seconds if you're Purple Paradox. So still, it's not about the items, it's how you engage those fights. And Purple Paradox, it doesn't seem to me like they're 100% certain of what they want to do.
The experience is playing against them right now. Being this behind and playing a Lifestealer lineup is never fun. Slark and Lifestealer are the two heroes that are most notorious of having very low impact in a game where you're from behind, playing from behind and not being able to initiate. If you're not the guys going in, it feels like they just have very minimal effect.
It's daytime for another minute. Army Geniuses, okay, they don't feel comfortable going forward any longer. They forced out the side of Purple Paradox in their base, and now you go for a tower. That's the last outer tower, and again, if Purple Paradox is just running in, they're most likely going to be losing, so they're going to have to let this one go. Luckily for them, the outer towers don't mean much. It's all about the movements and pushing out the side lane, so we'll see how well they accomplish that.
Soon we're going to have a Crystallis up on the Shadow Fiend. He might just go for Silver Edge. Yahweh wants to snipe the Courier. Oh, it's a close call. Doesn't have vision onto this this Courier here. Saving that little flying fat-cheeked squirrel. Here's a cute Courier.
I think that's a Chinchilla, right?
Or Chinchilla, yeah. I'm not too good with those names. Thank you for that, Harry.
No problem.
Paradox going for the fight into vision of Army Geniuses, but if they can get this one to work, it's going to start with the Disruptor. Double Force Staff, not enough to save him. Lich is down as well. That's a good start for the fight. Without the supports, it's just down to damage. Requiem being loaded up. Roar coming onto the Marcy. Marcy going to get hammered down by In Your Dream. Just no mercy whatsoever. 4 versus 3. Dark Ascension still up for a couple seconds. Blink in. Valky trying to get some damage out. The Avalanche comes out. Lifestealer moving in as well. They want to take down In Your Dream. He's disarmed. He's clipped. He's clipped. He's RT'd. He's stuck there. He ain't going anywhere, but he's going to mad fight against the Night Stalker. Sebe. He's going to lose his life in the process. The TP out from the Shadow Fiend. He's gone. Oh, the Cliff Teasy move there with the Hurricane Pike. And Paradox, they got a good start for the fight, taking down the supports, but the damage, you can see how big of an issue it is just trying to fight just trying to fight damage versus damage. Shadow Fiend dishing out a 4,000 amount of damage plus the Requiem, which didn't actually do a huge amount in that fight, but those right clicks, damn. And now here goes Valky. Here lies Valky.
To be honest, SF would have died there if he doesn't TP out. You're dealing with the disarm of the Pango. Now you're going to be dealing with the disarm of the Heaven's Halberd. He does not have any status resistance, so that's going to be a nuisance to him in the fight. But overall, that was a perfect engagement for Purple Paradox. Killing the two supports is a big deal. I think it was a mistake trying to save the one that got caught, because that's 2 Force Staffs used, and you're not going to have it then to escape the Night Stalker.
Yeah,
but,
they wanted the Static Storm so bad.
Yeah.
Night Stalker. Oh, sorry. The Lifestealer is the one being focused here. He's trying to hold his ground, but it's just too much for him to handle. Big pickoff.
A huge one. A huge. This is the pickoff with which you start going high ground. There is no Dark Ascension for a little bit of time. It's gonna be there, but without the Lifestealer, that's even less constant output of damage.
Yeah,
so
he has no
you can
buyback.
easily go.
And he also doesn't want to use a buyback if that was the scenario, because that would push him back so far. But since he doesn't even have it in the first place, that's what Army Geniuses are trying. They're trying to force it out. They caught the Mirana. And no Wraith Pact was used either, because it just came off cooldown the same second the Mirana dies in the front line. Not that it's going to do any good there when it's already in the middle of the enemy team. Now they're switching towards the top lane. As they saw the tier 3 tower they hammered before, it was very low on HP. Again, Yowie going in, but the silence comes out. And so the BKB, he tries to go for the toss, but he doesn't even have the mana for it. Yowi's gonna have to disengage and leave. There's a glimpse coming out. Night Stalker is sent back away. And Valky on the full-on chase. Nice force staff for Shadow Fiend with his own. Able to move into a different position. But he's isolated. He's alone. He's got no friends. And one force staff coming in. They've got the roar. Can they kill In Your Dream? Can they take down the Shadow Fiend? He's standing his ground. Seimei forced away. Requiem into the spot. Double kill. They're all dying as they try to get to him. And it's not enough. Lifestealer also hammered. In Your Dream, force staff after force staff after force staff, and Valky, the next competitor, has arrived. The next gladiator. They're all dying inside it. Team wipe. Air Army Geniuses. They're too strong.
In Your Dream's force staff usages in those fights helped him stay alive. First to the low ground, then he escapes the Lifestealer, and then he dodges now the swashbuckle of the Pango. Possibly that swashbuckle doesn't kill him, but that's just some amazing first footwork coming out from DSF. They use everything on him.
And
they
Mavis
get
and
the
Bears.
lucky arrow on him, and he survives. This game is over. You can call GG because you're not getting another arrow like that.
For Gabby. Revenge for their fallen teammates on the side of Fnatic. Of course it is Yowie to call it out, but yeah, the force staff usage from In Your Dream, yes, but Ferris and Mavis as well. All these 3 force staffs in the team, he's basically being moved inside a square. He goes down, then he goes right, then he moves up, and the comms and the movement is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. The way that they're communicating is just, okay, we have these force staffs back off cooldown again, so let's just move you around a little bit so they can't hit you while you're dealing damage to them. And still, Purple Paradox. Yeah, like you said, this game's over.
And SF was actually disarmed for like 15 seconds in that fight. A couple of lucky shots, and there was also a halberd on him, but it doesn't matter. In those 6 seconds during the duration of the BKB, with just the Morbid Mask lifesteal, he's lifestealing so much because he has so much attack speed, so much damage. It was impossible for anyone to stand their ground against him. You just cannot. You need on this lifestealer, you need a Basher, you need a BKB, and you need an MKB to fight the SF. That's way too many items that you're never gonna get.
Here we go. Starting with Valky. Beginning of the end, unless Paradox has something to say about it. They're focusing
SF
different targets this time. They want everything else. SF is still moving here, but they've lost one of their big cores nevertheless. And here comes Yowie again, and SF is here. In Your Dream, approaching the fight. The glimpse onto Seimei, and the big right clicks. The fear from the shard. A massive punch to the face of Seimei, feared away. A 2-for-1 trade-off here, and straight for the push to take the Mega Creeps. Straight to bottom they go. In Your Dream, already ahead, and the rest will follow. 20 seconds for Pango, 30 seconds for the Night Stalker.
Okay, you can wait for those seconds, but you might not have a base to wait into because the Mega Creeps are there. The game is pretty much over at this point. Purple Paradox, they only have team fights left, and we have seen how team fights went for them. Against Mega Creeps, there is no split push, there is no fighting an advantage. You just have to go straight on.
Yeah, tier Force down, Ancient open, and exposed. Ugh. Oh, they're trying to come from the back. Mavis down to 200. Oh, the Gold Scepter. No swashbuckle damage for you today. Still killed off by Moody. It looks like a Starstorm or an arrow. Either one connected. Lifestealer down. And GG is called. 2-0 for Army Geniuses. And they haven't lost a single series so far. That will be their third 2-0 during the group stages. They're going to be tying up second place with Purple Paradox, but with one series less played, they could just surpass them.
Purple Paradox, I mean, they made a ton of mistakes in this game as well. Even though their movements were much better than they had them up in game number 1, they didn't recognize properly just the strength of their lineup, or the strength of the enemy's lineup maybe, because they went in onto fights against Army Geniuses. I think after that fight close to the Roche, that they should have known it's not about timings, it's not about items, it's not about positioning, it's about spreading out the enemy team. We're not gonna get them, we're not gonna win against them in a 5 versus 5 fight, but they just continued to force them out, and this was the obvious result after you make so many mistakes. They even killed the 2 supports at the start of the fight, and they still can't finish it because that's just not how their lineup should work. So yeah, in the end, it's gonna be Army Geniuses winning. Very solid performance for them, but Purple Paradox now showing a clear weakness of their lineup. They beat Fnatic, but it is because Fnatic played a certain type of Dota. If you switch it up, Purple Paradox are gonna need some time to adjust. So it's very good for them they are playing the BTS Pro Series because they have a lot of potential.
Potential, yes, but a learning experience for sure this time.
Yep.
You've seen the ups and downs in the course of one day. You can win a top team and you can lose to another in just shining fashion. Army Genius is excellent game. The second one especially, the 4-staff usage, the way that they synchronized everything together, just a beauty to watch. That's some really cool Dota in team fights. How they make their decision making. What priority do you have on focusing which heroes first, and itemization, and just obviously. Execution was beautiful. That was just some really fun Dota to watch inside of Army Geniuses. But an upset for Purple Paradox coming into the second series. We have one more to go, Harry.
Yep, only one more to go today, and then you and me are gonna rest. I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. I would want to cast more Dota, especially when the games are this exciting. We're not seeing too many Tusks, and I'm thinking that's why I've been enjoying the games today as well, because we haven't seen a single Tusk, and I'm kind of hoping it stays that way for the last series as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as our final series, Execration Xerxia, after the break.